Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If this is your first visit, I compare and contrast movies to the books and the video games that they're based on, sometimes vice versa or all three. If that's of interest to you, please subscribe and smash the notification bell to help me keep this channel going. This week the book is the story of Perseus, which was adapted into Clash of the Titans for the first time in 1981 with a lot of stop-motion animation, which was pretty impressive, and remade in 2010 with CGI and was released in 3D in the theaters. What the story and both movies share is, first, how Perseus comes into existence. Zeus is up to his usual shenanigans, impersonating mortal men in order to get with the mortal women he has the hots for. In the story, it was Danae, an unmarried princess in the story and first movie, and a married queen in the remake, as an act of spite when mortals start getting short with the gods, when things in their lives start going sideways. So, when she's pregnant, into the box she goes, and Danae survives in the book and the first movie, but wasn't so lucky in the remake. And this is where the book and the movies start to part ways. In the story and original movie, Perseus is raised by his single mother. In the remake, he is adopted and raised by a fishing family. Overall, his formative years reflect a simple life. Also, in just the book, the slaying of Medusa and the rescue of Andromeda from the Kraken are completely separate tasks that don't tie in until the very end. As for the release of the Kraken, in the book, it was Poseidon's doing, at the request of the water nymphs, who were upset that the king and the queen of Argos thought their daughter Andromeda was prettier than they were, so they demanded her parents feed her to the Kraken. In the first movie, Zeus releases the Kraken twice, on one city, then another. In the remake, also, Zeus releases the Kraken on Argos. At the same time, a skittish religious zealot rushes Andromeda to the sacrificial cliff, and it was Hades that told him that these were the terms. On the topic of collecting Medusa's head, in the book, it was a wild goose chase and death trap ordered by King Polydectes, who ruled the island Perseus grew up on with his mother. You see, he had the hots for Danae and wanted her to marry him, but she didn't feel the same way. But he wouldn't take no for an answer, and Perseus, as the good son, stood up for her. So King Polydectes wasn't having any of this. He ordered Perseus to bring him the head of Medusa, so he would be conveniently out of the way and will probably get killed, so he could have Danae all to himself. In both movies, the slaying of Medusa and the rescue of Andromeda from the Kraken go hand in hand. I mean, how else can he kill something that big? So he consults with the Stygian witches, the three blind sisters, who in the first movie are kind of cliche. They're witches they are all surrounding a bubbling cauldron, and they share a single crystal eye, and they impart their knowledge, kill Medusa without looking at her, and use her head to turn the Kraken into stone. Both movies also include details of their own that set them apart from each other and from the book. In the book, Perseus makes a deal with the king and queen of Argos. He will save Andromeda in exchange for her hand in marriage. Not really as chivalrous as in both movies, but pretty commonplace for original Greek mythology. The first movie included this cute mechanical owl that helped Perseus, as well as this jilted ex of Andromeda's, who was turned into a satyr, and he burns all her potential suitors if they can't solve his riddles, except for Perseus, who outsmarts him. And in the middle of their wedding, they're interrupted by the god's decree that Andromeda is to feed the Kraken. The remake includes Io, the pre-guide, and two plucky goofballs in Perseus's company who tame the enormous Scorpioch and convert them into rideable beasts of burden. And after saving Andromeda from the Kraken, he doesn't marry her. He decides to return to his simple life and leaves Andromeda to rule over and rebuild Argos. It is not until the sequel, Wrath of the Titans, that Perseus and Andromeda officially pair up, after he has built a home, raised a family, and become a widower, and she has become queen and general of her own army. The book and both movies conclude with all the major players in the story being written into the stars, literally as constellations. And that is all for the story of Perseus and Clash of the Titans. Thank you so much for watching. Please leave me a comment and smash the like button. And I'll see you back next week for Big Little Lies.